Hey yo, Mark here for Mark's Max Muscle. And today I'm going to be doing a profile on George Eiferman. Eiferman was one of the first bodybuilders to bring a real massive physique to the bodybuilding stage. So without further ado, let's get started. Eiferman was an American, born in 1925. He stood 5 feet 7 inches and weighed as much as 195 pounds in his prime. At one look, and it's plain to see, for the 1940s, Eiferman was way ahead of his time. Look at the proportions that he had. Unreal. I honestly don't think that there's any bodybuilders from his time that could ever even come close to touching him in the front lat spread. Sergio Oliva in the late 60s might be the first to really challenge him in this pose. Not only was he packed with thickly developed muscle, but Eiferman also possessed extremely good conditioning for the 1940s. And look at those abs. Back then, you just didn't see that type of conditioning. But Eiferman brought everything to the stage. It is in my humbled opinion that George Eiferman is one of the most muscularly built bodybuilders from the 1940s. Eiferman began to compete in bodybuilding way back in 1946, and by 1948 he had entered and won the AAU Mr. America contest. From here, he would capture the 1948 Mr. California title. In 1949, Eiferman would place a disappointing 4th place at that year's Mr. USA contest. He would place right underneath legendary bodybuilder Steve Reeves. In 1950, he would try his hand at winning the Mr. USA contest one more time. He would place 2nd that year, but would actually win the most muscular title at that particular event. George would retire from competitive bodybuilding following his 2nd place finish at the 1950 Mr. USA contest. Eiferman would surprise the bodybuilding world by making a huge comeback in 1962 at that year's IFBB Mr. Universe contest. George would not only place 1st in his class, but would go on to capture the overall title. George Eiferman was now a Mr. Universe champion. With nothing more to prove in his chosen sport, Eiferman would retire from competitive bodybuilding. And this time, he stayed retired. He is George Eiferman, a true bodybuilding legend. Well, that about does it for that one. As always, let me know in the comment section below if there's any other legendary bodybuilders like George Eiferman that you'd like to see a profile done on. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit like if you did, and if you haven't already, subscribe. That's it for now. This is Mark for Mark's Max Muscle.